Hello and good morning, dear student. Today you are going to learn CSS. It stands for Cascading Style Sheet. What is CSS? For that we have to take on one example. Suppose if you built a new house and the new house is just same as your web page designed using HTML. Now you have to make your house look beautiful. For that we have to paint inside, outside of your house. And CSS will add style to your web page. Means it will make your web page more interactive and more beautiful, as just same as you are coloring your house. So CSS is a file, Cascading Style Sheet is a file which contains list of formatting instruction. Formatting means, just take one example. Suppose if you want to change the paragraph color and font name, all these are called formatting. Or you can see with the use of the CSS you can add style to your web page, or you can say HTML. If you use CSS in your web page while designing your web page, if you use CSS, you can control your web page look without changing the HTML coding. Okay, you can just simply change in the CSS and it will automatically update to your the HTML web page. The extension or the second name of the CSS is .css. So what are the benefits of using the CSS? Pages download faster, means web page will download faster. Sometimes it may download 50% faster as compared to the web page that are purely designed in the HTML. And then developer, the person who are designing the web page, have to type less code, because let's take one example also. If you have designed one web page, in that web page we have used 10h1 heading 1, all the properties are same, but we have to type the h1 line of code for 10 times. So if you use the CSS, you have to simply write one line of code and then it will apply to all the HTML web page. So this way you have to type less web code, and the size of your web page will become less and your web page will look more clean and neater and easy maintenance. If you want to make some changes to the web page, you can change inside the CSS file and it will automatically affect to all the web page and it will automatically update it. Okay, that is the benefit of using the CSS. So how you will write the CSS style, or you can say rule? For that we have to use the CSS syntax. In case of the syntax we have two parts. First one is selector, second one is declaration. In the selector we have to use any HTML that you want to add style to the HTML element. Which element you want to add style? For that you have to select, or you have to use any HTML element like P stand for paragraph, H1 for heading, T for table. You can use any HTML. And then the declaration, okay, and declaration means it will adding style to the selector. Okay, and declaration made up of two parts. First one is property and second one is value. Property and value. So the basic CSS rule, or this you can say the syntax, we have to follow this syntax. Okay, First we have to write the selector, then we have to write the curly bracket open, and we have to write the property. If there is a true word, then in between two words we have to write the hyphen sign. And after the property we have to write the colon to separate the property and the value. So in HTML we will use equal sign. Okay, so in CSS we have to use the colon sign. Then you have to write the value, and after the value we have to write the semicolon. Okay, then at last we have to close the curly bracket. And this is one example of the CSS. We're applying a style to the paragraph. The P is a selector, and we are applying a font family, handwriting. We are applying a sans serif to the paragraph, and the color, red color, to the paragraph. So in a CSS file contain more than one rule, and this is a one rule. In a CSS file you may have many CSS rule. You can write many CSS rule, and every or each rule must start from the selector. So there are three ways by which you can add style sheet to your web page. First one is inline. In case of the inline, you can write the CSS style directly with your HTML coding. Okay, this is one example of the inline style. We are applying a style to the paragraph, so we are writing the CSS code with HTML code. That is called inline. We are using P for paragraph. We are applying a style, and we have to write the first font family. We are applying a lucider handwriting. This is a handwriting to the font to the paragraph. Also applying a red color to the paragraph. And this is the this is the output of this HTML code. And this way you can write the inline style to your HTML code. Second one is internal. So the CSS code are written in between head open and head close in case of the internal style sheet. So this is the syntax, or this is the rule. For that way we have to write the first style, then the type of the file is text, and it contains the CSS code. Okay, so you have to write this line, and after that you have to write the CSS coding where you want to apply the style, whether you are going to use the paragraph or the heading or table, which element you are going to apply the style. You have to write in between style open and style close. So as according to this example, we are applying a sans serif font to the paragraph, red color to the paragraph, and also we are applying a yellow background color to the H2. Now the third one is external. In case of the external, we have to write the CSS, we have to write a separate document, where which document means a file which contain the CSS code. Okay, now we have two files. One is HTML web page, and the another one is the CSS file. So we have to link these together. Okay, link these two files, CSS and the HTML. So in the HTML code, you have to write one line of code in between the head open and head close. We have to write link. We are linking href file name. Okay, it's a hyper reference. In case of the file name, you have to write the name of the CSS file name. Suppose the CSS file name is style.css, then you have to write the style.css in here, and then the type of the file is text, and it contains the CSS coding. So what is the relation to this file is REL stand for relation, is it contains the style sheet. Okay, you have to write only one line of code in between the head open and head close while linking the HTML and the CSS code. And these are the two example of the linking the CSS file with the HTML code. So in a HTML code you can link to many CSS file, you can link to multiple style sheet file. Okay, if there is some conflict between the style sheet file and the last style sheet will apply to your web page. Now the first properties of the color, CSS properties for color. So how you will apply the color to your heading or paragraph. Okay, this is the one example. We're applying a red color to the paragraph and yellow background color to the paragraph. And this is a CSS file, okay, and this is the HTML code, okay, written in the Notepad. Both can be written in the Notepad. And this is the output of a combination of the HTML and the CSS. We have used the property color and property background color, and color is used to apply color to the HTML element, and the background color is used to apply a color at the back of the HTML element. And the next one is grouping style. We can group or we can combine one or more HTML element to apply the style. Okay, as per this example, we are applying a green color to the paragraph H1 and H2, and we are separately applying a background color only to the H2. This is a H2, it has a background color as a yellow. Okay, so while applying a style, you can select a multiple you can use the multiple HTML element separated by the comma, and each individual element can apply a different style. Now the second one is the CSS property for the background. If you want to insert the image at the back of your web page, then you have to use this coding. We have to write the background image URL, means path of your image. You have to write the name of the image over here, and that before that you have to write the URL. In case of the property, we are using background image, background color, and background repeat. Okay, and background image is used to insert image at the back of your web page. Background color, if you want to apply the background color to the HTML element like the heading and paragraph, table, all these things. If you have inserted image inside your web page, and then if you want to repeat the image or not, for that we have to use the flopping value. Like if you use the repeat X, and the image will repeat horizontally, repeat -y, it will repeat the image vertically. Okay, if you don't want to repeat the image, then you have to write repeat. And if you want to repeat the image both horizontally and vertically, then you have to use the repeat value. Okay, if you want to combine all this property together, then we have to use the background. It's a shorthand for the background properties. For that, first we have to write the color name, and then the image that you are going to insert, and then the value for the background repeat. It could be repeat X, Y, repeat, no repeat. And this is the example body, and then background. We have to write the color, then the image, and then you have to write the repeat value.